Alright, you lot. You ever queue up for a casual match, get steamrolled by 3 prestige masters reanimate aim, then log into YouTube and hear some bloke screaming, SBMM is back! Yeah, we're doing that. Again. But I'm not here to cry for clout or stroke me KD. I'm here to talk bullshit from all sides. This isn't about defending Activision. This is about exposing clowns, chaos, and clueless text-killing conversation. Strap in, it's gonna get sweaty. Let's start with golden complaint to every sweaty rage post and Reddit melt. There's 100,000 players online, why am I only getting the same match 10 times in a row? Simple, cause you're not queuing with 100,000 players, you're queuing with 10. That 100k number, that's not just Black Ops 7, that's everyone sat in COD HQ. That includes zombie grinders chasing unlocks, Warzone rats stuck in a gulag loop, campaign enjoyers taking screenshots in story mode, BO6 holdouts too stubborn to uninstall, people sat AFK in menu adjusting their emblem for 7th tower, and yeah, your mum trying to find settings menu. You're not in a live Warzone, you're in a glorified lobby simulator with 5 blokes half asleep and 1 guy still downloading shaders. And even if they are in Black Ops 7, that don't mean they're in your playlist. BO7 splits player base like a fucking pie chart on cocaine. Standard SBMM, open playlist, zombies, campaign, endgame, hardcore, private lobbies, crossplay on versus off, solo versus party queue. You pick up and playlist TDM, solo, crossplay off. Congrats! You've just narrowed your matchmaking pool from 100,000 to about 300 people in a traffic cone. So when people cried the matching same sweats in a row, what they're really saying is, I killed in a puddle and got wet. And best part, those 300 people, they're probably split across regions, systems, skill bands, and time zones. Game's not screwing you, you're just last and still clicking play. Now let's talk about why some of you are really here. Xclusive Ace. One of the only lads in COD space still trying to actually test something before he shouts about it. He's not frothing at mouth, not clickbaiting end at franchise. Credit where it's due. But his SBMM tests? Nah mate, that thing's deader than split screen. Let's break down flaws so clear even Activision's PR intern could spot it. He ran 10 matches on his main account, then 10 on his bot account, then 5 more on his main. Not parallel, not side by side. That's not a test. That's a cue and cry ritual. In any proper testing setup, you control variables. Eat-in, time of day matters, queue volatility matters, player churn between matches matters, COD's matchmaking back-end into fixed machine. It's a fucking mood swing on server form. Every 15 minutes your region's pool can change. Someone goes offline, a squad joins up, crossplay flips. You're not testing both accounts at the same time, you're not isolating skill. You're just timing soup while kitchen burns down. And then there's sample size. 10 matches? That's not data, that's a vibe. Now again, respect to Ace, he's doing more than most. But don't let Nero or Blame Truth wave this test around like it's a court summons for Activision. It's an anecdote, it's not a scientific beating stick. You want to test matchmaking strength properly? Here's how. Your dual box accounts. Same system, same match queue, same moment. Over and over again. Then you track not just ping and time to match, but player skill in lobbies via in-game performance, scoreboard stats, and post-match tracking. Until someone does that, every test is just a glorified gut feeling in a spreadsheet app. Now Nero Cinema, he's been around a long time, he knows his stuff. I like lad, even said it before, but in this SBMM mess, he's coming in hot, then veering off cliff in a bloody nitro-fueled shopping trolley. He up and strong. He's bang on about Activision's dodgy track record. They've lied about SBMM, lied about AI, lied about transparency, then disappeared like your dad on free trial day. He's right to call them out. He's right to set communities split. He's even right that game feels different than beta. So far so good. Then he quotes Ace's test like it's Moses bringing tablets down from Mount Matchmaking. Don't question method, don't challenge flaws. Just grabs ping numbers and runs off like his crack case on CSI Verdansk. But then he does one thing you don't do when you're trying to be objective voice of truth. He dunks on a kid for having a low KD and not enough playtime. Seriously mate? You got a 1.6 KD in only 8 hours? So you're a moron and your opinion don't count. That's kind of gatekeeping bollocks that turns debate into piss puddles. That's not how systems work. It's not how insight works. KD don't prove intelligence. Playtime don't prove perspective. And shouting louder don't make you ping lower. You can be smart as hell about game systems and still get clapped in sweaty lobby. You can have 4,000 hours and not know the difference between server routing and itreg. What you can't do is claim to fake for truth, then start swinging your KD like it's a PhD. That moment right there, that's where Nero stopped being a critic and started being a gatekeeper. Irony? He's proving the same toxicity SBMM system were originally built to contain. shaming casuals, mocking lower skill players, acting like knowledge is locked behind a kill count. You can't cry about matchmaking being broken while mocking half at people who have to play in it. That's not exposing the system, that's just flexing in mirror. This ain't about KD or clicks. This is autopsy room for broken games, rigged systems, and bollocks excuses. So, let's talk about ping. Holy grail of online play. Magic number everyone worships until they have to understand it. Ace says his ping's gone up. Nero says that proves SBMM. And a dozen YouTubers who can't tell a router from a raccoon are yelling exposed like they've cracked Da Vinci Code. But let me explain this in the simplest way possible. Game didn't screw your ping, Q did. Ping is about proximity to servers, to peers, to match host. When the server has plenty of people nearby, it prioritises ping. When it don't, it grabs what it can, like Tinder at 2 AM. Now imagine this, you queue for an open playlist, mid-afternoon, cross-playoff, solo. You got your region set, your filters clean, and you hit search. System looks for local matches. Note. It expands radius. Note. Eventually it goes global, grabs a bunch of players in fucking Perth, and throws you in with 120 ms delay and rage boner. That's not SBMM, that's system doing what it's told, prioritise skill when possible, and broaden search if needed. Right there in wording, minimally considered, don't mean never. It means sometimes, but we won't say when, where or why. So when your ping jumps from 25 to 42 ms, that don't mean some Activision dev flipped a switch to make you sweat. It means there were no decent matches left nearby. System looked at pool and said, sorry mate, this or no. And if you think 42 ms is bad, wait until you match a 5-stack from fucking Finland while you're on Cornish Wi-Fi. Then you'll see what real packet loss feels like. COD's Matchmaker ain't evil. It's just overworked, underpopulated, and spread thinner than Nero's patience. And when open playlist only has 3 players in your skill band within 1,000 miles, ping ain't king, it's hostage. Now let's talk about real enemy in all of this. Because it's not SBMM, not ping, not your fucking KD, it's silence. Activision spent years pretending SBMM didn't exist, gaslit entire player base like we were imagining 200 ms packet burst lobbies and instant quit rage matches. And when they finally admitted it, they wrapped it in most legally vague bollocks ever invented. Skill is minimally considered. What does that mean? Does it mean 5%? Only in parties? Does it mean we'll nerf your ping if your KD is too high after 3 PM on a Tuesday? Nobody fucking knows. And that's point. This isn't transparency. This is corporate damage control dressed up like a community feature. And now that Ace has done his flawed but fair test, Nero, Blame Truth and others are screaming into the void, what does Activision do? Oh, not a word, not a tweet, not even a fart in a blog post. They've gone quiet because they can't wink conversation anymore. They're damned if they speak, they're damned if they stay silent. Because they've burnt bridge so many times, they'd need Noah's Ark just to ferry over a patch note. So instead, they sit in dark, let players fight each other, let YouTubers claw for clicks, let conversation burn itself out while they prep next 20 quid skin bundle with AI textures and a pack of lies. And this is what kills me, because open playlist could have been fixed. It could have been their redemption arc, but they buried it, said no, and let community interpret it however they wanted. Now we've got half at base screaming conspiracy and other half pretending 45 ms ping is fine. Meanwhile, Activision's PR team are just sat there, sipping lattes and praying to whatever shareholder god keeps them employed. You wanted SBMM answers, you got excuses, tests out together with chewing gum, and a player base too busy biting each other's ankles to seek bigger picture. I don't care if you're Ace with a spreadsheet, Blame Truth with a megaphone, or Dave from Reddit with 12 hours and a prayer. If you're not looking at how these systems work, not just how they feel, then you're not part of the solution. You're just another voice in matchmaking meat grinder. And if you think this was spicy, wait till tomorrow when I drag AI art rage through wood chipper. Like, subscribe and all that bollocks. Drop your comments and questions below. If your ping's melting and you're blaming Australia, I want to hear about it. And I'll see you next time, you magnificent